Hi there, it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for being here. And today I'm gonna talk about how integrating AI and browser API voice recognition on web application. But first of all, how have you been, and how are you doing? I hope you are well, and it's nice to have you here. Welcome to my talk, and I'm very grateful to be here speaking about this topic. And it's, how I said before, it's a pleasure to be here. And a catchy lead title, and I promise that is I'm not a clickbait. So let's begin. How I've been presented, I'm staff front-end engineer at iFood. I'm speaker and content tech creator on YouTube. I participate in the Campinas Front-end organization. I'm GDG, or Google Developer Groups, Campinas collaborator. Campinas is the city where I live, okay? I'm part of the team and collaborator of the Node BR community, BR because of Brazil, and I'm organizer of Frontend Campinas. Okay, and just to describe myself, I'm Asian and Japanese descent, yellow skin, and with some tattoos, and I'm using a black shirt and with a black hair. Okay. Um, and how I said before, I'm from Brazil, São Paulo, and the city where I live is Campinas. Uh, One of my hobbies is play CS, Counter Strike, but I'm very bad. I'm very bad on Counter Strike, and I always install and I uninstall. Another one of my hobbies is to play guitar, but also I remember that I'm very, very bad too. Now, my hobby actually is to collect action figures, and if you see that, and I'm very good in this hobby because I spend money. Um, just talking about iFood, I work in the iFood logistics travel. iFood is a company, is the biggest food delivery company here on Brazil. I work cross-functionally in two teams, okay, location areas and location gel. And in addition to internal projects too, but I work with geoprocessing, geolocation, partner delivery areas, delivery routes, and much more. I work with a lot of contacts here at iFood. Okay, but how I said in the initial of this presentation, this is not a clickbait. We are going to create an application, but first of all, I need to explain some concepts. What is LLMs? Okay, it is hard to pronounce, and I will demonstrate the application overview, the technologies that I use, the components, the show the code part, the best part of this presentation, and the demo, the application work alone. And let's finish with the Q&A section, okay? So what is LLMs? Basically, LLMs is a lot of data and a lot of GPU being processed, okay? We already saw the, LLM means large language model. LLM are created by deep learning using architecture transformer. But we already saw this concept and we probably used LLMs before. For example, TensorFlow by Google, Watson by IBM. Uh, This all AIs was provided use large models. All AI have your own LLMs processing on the background. So uh, have been around for some time. They gain mainstream attention through the ChatGPT, and we have the LLMs models like GPT-3, and now we have GPT-4, and so on. Okay, but let's see now with this concept in the mind. Let's see the application overview. So let's create an application using native voice recognition of the browser and integrate with OpenAI. Okay, uh, give what the user speak. Let's integrate with OpenAI and display the result dynamically. Sorry for my bad slides, but dynamically on the screen. Okay. So basically, the application is the movie Will Smith, I Robot. It's in Portuguese, Eu Robô, but I Robot, but without Will Smith. Sorry, but the technologies. I'm very bad. Sorry for my jokes. The technologies, I'm going to use Vite, the front-end tooling, the boilerplate. So I will use Vite with React and TypeScript. Okay. This is very simple and common to use on the ecosystem of front-end. And the Tailwind, the framework CSS. Okay. So this is not new, okay? And the OpenAI. So the AI tooling used to integrate with the application, right? Okay, cool. So talking about OpenAI, okay, the probably something new. React, TypeScript, so Tailwind, we probably already um, solved it, these technologies, but I want to focus on the OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI is a research laboratory related to artificial intelligence in the USA. Uh, it has a series of products and APIs. The best known are ChatGPT, and to probably you already using, and probably you use to create regex, for example, and DALL-E and to process images and artificial intelligence to create images. Okay, so we going to use one of these APIs through our AI model to suggest uh, this uh, this results. Okay, sorry. It has a free quota, but in this demo, we need to use $5 for use. Okay. So this is the interface. Okay, the OpenAI. So you can enter now. The OpenAI, probably you will see this screen and all the documentations, how to integrate, everything is there. Okay. So you can create your own account and you use the API key that uh, we will see in the next slides. But when you create account, you can create API key, okay, that we're going to use to our application, for our application. So now talking about web speech API. If you don't know, the browser has this API. Whoa, it's amazing, right? Because 5 years ago, we can't imagine that the browser and natively have this API. So I will use a library, okay? that is based on the browser native API web speech API to facilitate the integration. Okay, so I'm going to use this library just to the easy to present to you. Okay, and avoid to create integrations and be simple. Okay, the web speech API allows to embed voice data into web applications. The web speech API has two parts: speech synthesis, text to speech, and speech recognition, asynchronous speech recognition. So we can transform text and to speech and speech what you're talking in text. And you can pass the language that you are using. Okay, and this is what this is going to influence what language you are using, because the API will interpret uh, what your language that you are using. Okay, so this is documentation in the MDN web docs. So we can see that web speech API is available for the browsers. Okay, and we can see all the methods, the functions provided. And if we enter in the Can I Use site and search for web speech API, we can see that not all the browsers is provided to you, but I think in sometimes all the browsers are are available to use the web speech API. Okay, but in the Chrome, Safari, and the default browsers are available. Okay, now let's to the best part of this talk. Let's to the show the code. So let's create a project using Vite with the React and TypeScript. I'm going to use Yarn. You can use npm or pnpm. I'm going to use Yarn. I'm going to create Vite with the name the project with AI generator and passing the template React with TypeScript. I'm going to install the dependencies using Yarn and simple running the application use Yarn dev. We have this application. Easy busy, right? Okay. So we have this initial structure provided by Vite. So this is default. Okay. So we can see TSX, the CSS, and TSX because we are using TypeScript. Okay. And the Tailwind settings, I will not deep dive in this all the settings, but you can simple follow the instructions on the site of the Tailwind. It's simple, just install the dependency and create the file, the post CSS and the Tailwind config files, and map all the files that going to use the Tailwind and map in using the directives. Sorry. Now, remember that I said when you create account on the OpenAI. Okay, so after you create your account, you can create an API key. So I'm going to create a .env file to map our API key. So here you can put your API key that you created, and I will add some dependencies. Okay, so you add the React speech recognition and the OpenAI. Okay, so we going to use this two two dependencies. Okay, direct speech recognition is just how I said before. It's just be simple. We can use natively, but are you going to use library that will facilitate and be more easy to explain? Okay, and develop. Okay, so and adding the develop dependencies because we are working with TypeScript, we need the types, okay? So the types of reg speech recognition, okay? I'm going to install as development dependency. So I'm going to create a component called microphone. That is a component responsible for presenting a microphone that will start and stop in the speech recognition. So here we can see some the microphone props will extend of HTML props and HTML button elements. If you don't know this extends the props of the HTML, some HTML element, you can use this. So you can use on click, uh, uh, on on any events of the elements, okay, provided by the element by default. But I'm going to use the is dark if the button is listen, stop, and start when I click, okay? So I'm going to use React function component, passing the props of children and the microphone props, and we have the children element here. If we can, now we can pass everything, children component, okay? This is not nothing new. And here we can, I'm just using the functions to stop or start the events, okay? So here we have on click, stop listen, okay, and passing this class name here. And I'm just creating this Tailwind style, okay? So I love TypeScript, and TypeScript is my, I said I'm not sad, but I'm TypeScript familiar. I love it. We have this command here, enum, that I created. It's a object, okay? But here it's a command ptbr, okay? So I create this command here in Portuguese and in English. So here clear is apagar, darker is escurecer, and in English, it's clear, darker, darker, light, light, okay? But that's it. And these commands I map, okay, in the commands here, okay? If the language that I choose uh, is equal PTBR, I'm going to choose the enum PTBR. If not, I'm going to choose the English, okay? So with this TypeScript, we have the same keys. It will not cause some error, okay? And here I have these comments that I map, okay? If I call clear, I reset the transcript, okay? If dark, I will change the dark state to true, light to false. Stop listening, I will call the stop listening function. And if finished, I will call the OpenAI method, okay, that I'm going to see in probably next slides. And the component select that is customizable component by selecting the language that will be used English or Portuguese, but we can use Spanish, Japanese, every language because this component is customizable. hard to pronounce this. Uh, Ignore this fact. Creating the OpenAI service. Okay, I prefer to create the class when I'm going to create with some API. I create this class that will generate the message. Okay, so what I'm going to create is get the API key. Okay, that we map it on the .env file. Here, need to pass, I'm instantiating the OpenAI, passing the API key, and we need this flag here, dangerous allow browser, because we are working on the browser. The perfect world is work on the backend because we are going to expose this API key, but for this example, I want to expose, it's not a problem, okay? But this tip is important, okay? You can pass the feed message. I want only the HTML without text, okay? And here I call the one of the functions of the OpenAI, completions and create. And we're going to pass the message, role, we're going to pass system, the content, the message that we receive as parameter, as a string, and the feed message. Okay, I'm going to choose the LLM, the model GPT-3.5, and the temperature 0. This temperature is a flag that we can zero until 2, I think, if I'm wrong. And just to be, I'm going to pass 0 because I don't want the model be creative on the response. If we pass 2, the OpenAI will be creative. For example, it's will complement with a lot of data, and I don't need this. Okay, so I get the first response. Okay, so using all the components that we saw until here, okay, it's a lot of things because I created, so I don't, and one thing I don't using any stage manager as Jotai, Recoil, Zustav, for example. I'm just using the and even context API. I'm just using the state, the user state of React, and passing as prop drilling. Okay, so we don't have a complex stage manager. Okay, so I'm going to people just use these components that we created. Okay, and that's it, guys. Let's see the result. The first result. I'm click on the button. I promise that I'm talking. I call darker, and after that I've talk light, and you saw that darker will be dark, and if I talk light, it will be light, and if I talk stop listening, it will be reset the transcript. Okay. So another example, this is more cool. Generate an image, HTML of a random cats of ink, and let's see the result. And I call finish, and oh, we have the cat. So this is I don't. It's very cool. I don't know if you like it, but I love it. This example. Let's see more examples. Here I'm changing the select component, and I'm talking generate HTML button red with 20% of width and 30 pixels of padding with text white, and the content of text will be click here. And I will talk finish. And here we are. We have this button generated dynamically with the web synthesis processing and the using the web speech API and the integration with the OpenAI. How amazing is that? It's amazing, all right? So I love it. Another example, and the last, I think, generate HTML select with the options active and inactive, probably. Yeah. And I will call finish, and let's see the result. We generate a HTML dynamically using the OpenAI and the synthesis processing of the web speech API. This is amazing. And that's it. I think that's it. I know that I talk a lot of stuff, but oh my god, ads! I need. I'm kidding. This I have the channel. It's in Portuguese. I create videos. I'm how I said I'm content creator. You can see more content on YouTube. You can find me searching by Kevin Uehara. Um, my videos are in Portuguese, but you can use the captions to translate to English. Okay, I created some course using if you want to introduce React query, and state management as with the stands, recoil, context API, and so on. Okay, this is my contacts. If you don't want to copy these social medias, I have this QR code here. You can scan, and all my social medias will available to you on Linktree. Okay, so I will wait in 5, 4, 3, 2,
Thank you, Kevin.
1.
And we do have a few questions for you.
Okay, and thank you so much, guys, and say well always said in every video that I finish. Okay, so sorry for the time.
You're doing
Yeah.
good. We have a couple questions. The first one being about Babel plugin. When they tried adding it to dev dependencies, their code is still not showing in localhost. What could be the issue? Any guesses?
About Babel, I don't know if because I don't using the Babel on my project, but how I said I'm created using Vite, so probably it's a problem more deep, and we need to call me on the social medias that we can uh, see this problem, but probably is a configuration problem or something that some issue that was created. But I don't think that Babel uh, can influence this project. But we can see this project, call me on the social medias, and let's try to resolve this problem.
Thank you. A few more questions of what are some best practices for designing user interfaces that incorporate voice commands?
Yeah, the voice comments, it depends because we need to, that I think there's know the best practice that we can use, but when we think about UX and uh, provide the best experience for our users, we need to think and create a pattern for what we incorporate our project, but it's a discussion that we need to have with the team. If you are creating the project, you need to define some pattern, really, and follow this pattern and which that you can use in your project. There's no the best practice right that wrote in some place, but you can create your own pattern and the best practice that you think. But remember always for the user that the users that are using your application.
Okay, thank you. It looks like we have a couple more of how clean is the code generated using AI tools?
Yeah, this it's some problems sometimes because when we use some AI tools, we have some uh, problems with the response because how I said the temperature flag, the AI can be created, and sometimes we don't want the AI be creative. We want just the answer. Give me the answer and be directive. But sometimes we need to uh, create some uh, factor, for example, pattern or we can say to the AI, give me that, give the example that I show, give me the HTML, give me the only the answer that I need, and you can feed the message with some tricks. Okay, but it's inevitable. We have some problems sometimes when with the answers of the AI. Okay.
Thank you. Let's see. Could you elaborate on the browser's native speech recognition API? Does it have limitations that were frustrating?
Uh, yeah. I how I use this library, it facilitates because I don't want to use all the functionalities of the features of the this API. So for this, I'm using the library because it makes simple and when we work the web space API native, we have a lot of controllers that we need. Okay, so we need to think about when the start and stop and transcripts. When we work with a library, it make easier, but it's not interfere if you want to work natively. You can. But I how I show it, this is new, this API, so it's in development. So I see that every year or in a small time, I see that this API will be um, more better. Oh, I think that you're muted.
Thank you. Yeah, I did. Uh, I The next question is, has the voice recognition been tested on both European and Brazilian Portuguese as well as other languages?
Uh, I don't know the answer of this question, but work uh, with the Portuguese, with English, and probably with Spanish. I don't know with another language how it's working, if it's working with the best experience in recognition. But it's you can use my own project that is available on the GitHub. So you can try and use, or you can create this small project to try to pass in the language that you interested to use, but I don't try it in another language. I just try with the Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, English, and Spanish. Okay.
Thank you. And I've seen a few questions on this, but to wrap us up, do you have somewhere that you have a demo of this, or somewhere people can go find out more and
Yeah.
try this for themselves?
Yeah, I have my GitHub. Okay, so I will pass here and just back in here.
Okay.
Uh, okay, so just scan my QR code, and on this project is all available on my GitHub, so you can find as Laplace project. Okay, Laplace is well, oh, this is a answer for another question, but you can find the Laplace project. Okay, I will send here on the chat. Okay, but this project is all available here.
Thank you. And we can, I know that many of the speakers are also open to posting in or getting the questions on uh, Twitter or LinkedIn. That's also a great place to ask these. So I've posted it in the chat as well. So thank you, Kevin, for your time today. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and see you soon.